Chris,
Morning,
welcome
Dale.
back, man. How are you? You ready for Trump 2.0?
Always. Let's do it.
Okay, tell me what your thoughts are going into this with, a lot of executive orders and stock market's been a little bit more of a two-way street. What's top of mind for you after, the red sweep and what's going on as far as with Musk and stock market? You still looking for melt up much higher levels?
In the stock market, yeah, I'm still bullish. I think we're in the second phase of the recovery from the 2022 bear market superinflation environment.
Okay.
And so I think from this point on, I think the Fed or the central banks around the world have pretty much stopped being as involved. As a parent would help their child when they go out into life, get their first apartment, go to college or whatever. I think the Fed has kind of been doing that, not the Fed, but central banks globally. They've been doing that
Yeah.
since about 2023, and now it's the point of like, okay, let's see what the young man can do on his own, what the economy can do on their own with business and growth and everything. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'll if you want, I'll show you what I'm looking
Yeah.
at.
Sure.
And Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah. Happy New Year, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. So on my screen, I have global liquidity. You can see that this would have been our fun 2020 clown show, I guess, of of global liquidity. We had that quick recession that lasted a few minutes, um, and then they just stimulated. So what we're looking at here is just liquidity being pumped into the global economy. And this is, like I said, kind of alluded to, the idea behind it is you're just, 18 years old, 19, 20 years old, whatever it is. Your parents are helping you with your first house, apartment, whatever, car, going to
Yeah.
college. They let you out. They support you for a little bit because they ultimately want you out. And then after a period of time, you start earning. You start, you get your feet underneath you. You become a little bit more responsible as an adult, and they don't need to help you out anymore. And so coming out of if try to make it a little bit bigger here if I can. I guess I can.
All right.
Um,
So Paul was our dad, and who was our mom? Yellen.
oh gosh.
Who was our
Let's just go
uncle?
globally. Let's just go
Bernanke.
globally.
Uncle Ben.
Probably Xi Jinping. But yeah, no, we're looking at global liquidity here. Of course, the
All
U.S.
right.
is the biggest there, but China's probably one of the biggest, as well. And this kind of going into Q4 as they started to cut rates in the U.S. The world had already started. That's when liquidity pretty much eased up in the markets. So from 2020, late 2022, from the market bottom, in essence, in S&P
Yeah.
terms, it pretty much they just fueled it. And so they artificially stimulate a weak economy, which is what we need to get going. And then they turn it off and they say, okay, business, do your thing. We got you here. We're not worried about existential risks of banks blowing up anymore. We're not worried about so much of that sort of stuff. Now we want to see growth. We want to see earnings, and so the growth in earnings moves from the chosen few, right? Apple and Mag Seven, where they have the largest economies or the largest businesses, market cap, $1 trillion market caps, earning billions of dollars at 20 to 30% margins. Of course, the easy money goes there. It's not even, you don't need to be very smart to think to yourself, you know what, I'm just going to invest in something that makes billions of
Well,
dollars with
what do
huge
you think
profit
about
margins.
this drawdown in Apple, though? To me, it's like the tree that fell silently in the forest. It's and it is a redwood. It's one of the big
Yeah,
trees.
it's a big,
So
yeah.
So what do you think of that? I mean, we're down well over 20% in a month.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it also had quite an incredible spike there
Yeah,
at the end. Let me see if I
it did. It
let's
did.
pull up Apple here. I was just looking at I got a lot more takes on currencies and
Oh,
that.
well,
So,
let's go there.
but let's see. So the idea here, take this off, whatever that means. Yeah, we it basically came right back. I'll make this a lot
Yeah.
bigger. So in Q4, Apple pretty much just took off from like the 230 to 260 level, and we're
Yeah.
back at 230. So what the move that we're seeing, I believe, is again, we had that Mag 7 suck everything because it was easy, because it didn't take any brain power to realize that as long as they keep printing money, in essence, as long as all the money keeps going to these big companies, then it's just going to continue to keep earning the same way it is, and everything's going to do good. Well, it's a wealth effect from here. In the early stages of recovery, it's very easy to get into Apple and the bigger money flows there. But eventually you start realizing you're a genius because you got long a bull market and risk starts moving out. So as liquidity stops flowing into the market so much, as these big Mag 7s start taking all the money, suddenly, like the Fed says, hey, business, do what you do, economy, grow, you have real businesses start trying new things, start taking down these big behemoths and compete with the Apples and the Microsofts and the Open AIs and the Nvidias and all that. So when Nvidia was leading, there was no better place to be in the AI space. But as we get further into this, the wealth effect moves out and risk starts going to new innovative ideas because the margins are so good that creates that competition demand, right?
So do you
That
think there's flow out of these stocks into
that's
other
it.
stuff? So
If
they're
I
a
would have said
source
it
of
that way, that would have
funding.
been better.
Yeah, because yeah. So they're basically people are rotating out of
Yeah.
these things into other. What sectors are they going into when they're rotating
Well,
out?
obviously, we're either talking about solid growth of fundamentals or speculation, and certainly we move more into speculation as we get into the second half of the cycle, where we're getting growth, inflation's hopefully staying low, and so if we're looking at the AI play, it has been Nvidia and Microsoft mostly, Meta, Mag 7 plus, Nvidia. It wasn't a good move to get into things outside of Nvidia up till this point because it just took it all. Now the competition, about 2 years into it, now competition can start going in there, and the speculative environment of chip makers, new, Databricks is going to be going public. We're going to start seeing a lot of that capital that has flown into the AI space probably start moving more towards the edges of the speculation side of the AI space. And I think your point bringing up Musk and the new administration, I think that there's going to be a lot more opportunity in a lot less concentration than it has been. So yeah, the S&P 493 are probably going to start doing a lot better than the S&P 7, right?
How
For
about the small caps? Are they ever going to come alive? I think
individually,
they
yeah.
will.
Individually, I would say so. The index itself, let me just pull this up. So this was last Monday. This is NASDAQ, S&P, Russell, and S&P 400 mid caps.
Yeah.
And Russell and mid caps, so small caps and mid caps, have led since last week's low in the market, leaving Nasdaq at the lowest. So what we don't want to see the Russell index really take off in strength. When that starts happening, that's when we get to more of a peak. So I'm thinking probably the first half of 2025 is we're gonna slowly start getting that stuff, and then eventually, when Russell really takes off, that if it does, that's where I would look to really start to dial in risk.
Exit. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Because they're the trash.
Yeah, there. If you're in the Russell 2000, your job is to
Yeah.
get out of it and get
Yeah.
into
Okay.
the S&P. And so
All
they
right.
don't reward people,
So
companies that stay in there.
all right, what are you seeing in FX, buddy?
Okay, so let's do the now. Every time we chat, we talk about market regimes, and the market regime is I use an indicator down here at the bottom. It's called the SQN indicator, and it
Hmm.
measures price, direction, and like volatility. So it combines the most recent price changes of the last 100 days. And so you'll see directional, like it starts going directionally along with the price. And when it peaks, we either get this dark red, and I hope it's easy enough to see this dark red
Yeah.
at the bottom, or the dark blue at top. And either of those indicate a high volatile regime, and a high volatile regime is the the foundation for a potential reversal. So until you get those, reversals are really not that
Common.
easy to expect. And
Yeah.
you know, as we go back over the years, you can see pretty good reversal in 2017, pretty good reversal in 2016 there. It doesn't mean that they are going to reverse right away, obviously. It just means that the environment is finally available for a reversal. And across the board, in so I'm going to pull up the
Well,
the futures.
Canada reversed today.
Yeah, and so let me pull up. So this is the future. So for those of you, this is the so Euro USD, GBP USD, Swissy USD, CAD USD. That if you're FX traders, this is like the dollar in the denominator, and so sometimes it's gonna whereas USD CAD is gonna go up, this one's down. So what I'm showing here is we got reversals in Euro, Pound, Swissy, Loonie, Kiwi. And so five of the eight big currencies around the world have put in that high volatile reversal type area. And you can see Euro's just off and running right now.
Leading. Yeah, leading.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
and so let me bring that over to these are the bonds. So 30-year, 10-year, 5-year, and 2-year across the bottom. And again, if we pull up you can see that a week or two ago across the board, we got bonds in that reversal
Yeah.
potential. Doesn't mean they're there, doesn't mean it's happening, but it's potentially there. And of course, that would mean that Dixie would have the same. And so
Okay.
this
Yeah,
is
the Dixie, yeah, I think it topped last week. So, and
it's
Canada
yeah.
took its time and didn't top until maybe today.
Well,
So it was
yeah,
the
it's
last one.
it has been the peso specifically, interestingly enough, has been among the strongest in the sense that it got down there and it has just stayed there. Whereas, like you said, Canada has been there for a little bit, but only about a month. It went just straight down for 3 years, right? 84 down to 60, or that's probably you want to do dollar CAD, but it had been in just
So
that straight
bearish,
move.
the dollar, bullish
I'm
the
believing.
market.
Yep, yep. I so the other thing is oftentimes you need a weak dollar to get strength in equities and like
Everything
crypto. Yeah. And we've had strength in everything while the dollar
without it.
has been, yeah. So the one of the things that I always these are my little every time I come on, I've said bull S&P every time I've visited you. I've been
Yeah,
bull S&P, and it's always happened like, right around when stuff falls. But it
yeah,
turns out within a month or two,
yeah.
we resolve. And so this measures the 10-week simple moving average of the New York Stock Exchange advancing issues, this oscillator down here at the bottom. Every time we get down into that shaded area has been, and this blue vertical lines is where the signals happen. Every time we get down in there, that is a buying opportunity in this bullish regime environment. And we just did that last week,
Yeah.
or the end of the year. And so far, last week was a big up week coming up out of that area, and it looks like so far today we probably are going to continue with that. So uh, for the next little while, probably into April, seasonality shows us as a stronger area starting this week into April as tax season, comes into
Okay.
play.
So first quarter looks good.
I think so. I think so. The kind of following along with the Canadian dollar play, um, I want to take
Crude.
a look at crude real quick if we got a second.
We do.
I think we're just waiting for, the big man to get inaugurated and start laying hate to the to the
Yeah.
markets in our
All right.
our
Well,
life.
I mean, just as he follows, I was saying in Face earlier, what stocks are doing, he'll also, really want to get gas prices down. And so, do you think he'll be successful? Because technically, I could see that we're in some kind. I don't see it and what you have on the bottom, but I think we could be close to some topping zone here.
So the same scenario here. When we're in this like light green area, looks yellow to me as a colorblind
Yellow.
chap,
It's yellow.
but
Yeah.
thank you. Um, that's a neutral market regime, and that is there's no trend that's really running the show. It's kind of
Yeah.
it
Neutral.
needs to, yeah, it's a neutral regime. It needs to mean revert mostly until it until it gets trending. And so trends go further and last longer than everybody expects, but everybody tries to get on them really early. The secret with trend is to just get on a trend once it's been established because they last a lot longer. Trying to catch trends early is when you get this real choppy mean reversion and everybody gets bowled up really quickly for no real reason. So this is, in my opinion, this is a nice mean reversion back into the range. You can have an incredibly strong economy with, as we've been talking about, right? Low inflation, high growth. Right now, we've got inflation, for the most part, taken care of on the CPI. Not fully taken care of, but certainly not what it was 2 years ago. And we need growth to kick in. And of course, how do we get growth to kick in? We don't let things like oil, gas prices interfere with it.
Right.
So I believe, like you guys were saying, that gas prices are probably going to stay within a range. It had a really aggressive spike up here, but our regime is telling us that there's no reason to be looking to go long. It's more of a opportunity to ride the wave up, ride the wave down. So I think that's what probably is going to happen. We got short over the weekend, or well, last night, I guess. Crude and looking for a move back into maybe 72,
A
73
breakout.
range. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Great
that's
having you here on a holiday, Chris.
oh, I wouldn't miss it. I
Yeah.
I missed it last week, I think, or the week before.
Oh,
We,
yeah, no problem. But
we had travel.
I love the name pollinate trading because what bees do is, they pollinate so there could be growth. And
That's exactly right.
would right. So I thought that was, you know, the reason behind the name. So I hope that you not only continue to help traders grow, but that you have growth in your business, growth in your P&L and your account, and keep pollinating away, buddy.
You bet.
You're helping people.
I appreciate that, Dale. Well, we got a new family member coming to the crew soon too. So pollinating
Oh
there as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
congratulations, Chris. All
Thank
right,
you.
buddy. So we'll talk in the spring, and you could always reach out to me, and I'm rooting for you.
I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for having me. And my last thing, when Bitcoin's finally done, then we're gonna get the rest of the cryptos are gonna start playing. But it's not time to play the non-Bitcoin game. Everybody, stick with the big leader.
Okay, don't buy the Trump coin. You bought one, didn't you?
I traded it for a little bit, yeah, but no,
Oh,
I'm you know,
you're not taking
99% of it.
delivery and put it in a picture frame?
I don't believe that is the plan. No, I got
Uh,
out on
uh,
Saturday. I traded a little bit Saturday for fun, but no, I'm
it's just unbelievable to me, an old timer like me, to
it's
see all the action and you know,
it's wild. Yeah.
it's it makes pink sheets look like a conservative investment. I mean, it's like pink sheets on steroids.
It
And at
was
least at least the pink sheets tried to be a company or were at least a company.
yeah.
They had some plan behind it. Anyway,
Yeah,
just
yeah, I don't know what to say.
I'm what they call that anachronism now. Uh, all right, bro.
All right.
Everyone follow Chris on X at Chris D Macro and keep him on your list. Say hello. And Chris, he does a lot on X to educate. So put him on your list. And I'll see you in April, buddy.
All right, sir. Have a wonderful, not sir, I'm gonna stop calling you sir, buddy. We had
All
that
right,
chalk
man.
last time.
All right.
Take it easy,
All
sir.
right. You
I
too,
did it again.
Chris. That's
Bye.
okay. Bye bye. So,
Bye.
everyone, we'll see you tomorrow for the real action. Although it's really already started, all I can say is get used to it and take advantage of it. See everyone tomorrow. Go Irish. Go Irish tonight. Who's with me? Hasn't Ohio State won enough? Come on. Who wants Notre Dame to win? Anybody besides me in this room? Huh? Okay. All right. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios. It's a football team, it's a national championship. All right. Go play soccer. All right. Adios.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with ForexAnalytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.